Okay, this is the 2019 paper 1 question 10 on your simultaneous equation and indices as well as your certs questions. Okay, part 1 is just simultaneous equation. Find the x and y value which satisfies the equation. Right, for your first equation, we can represent it as 3 to the power of x plus y is equals to, well, this is just 27 is the same as 3 to the power of 3, and cube root is the same as 1 over 3. So here essentially we already have our first equation, right? 3 to the power of 1 because 1/3 and 3 multiplied. So our first equation, just by looking at the powers, we can tell them that, okay, x plus y equals to 1. Okay, so this is the very first equation. For our second equation, it comes from this second equation over here, right? 4y is the same as 2 to the power of 2y, right? And we are dividing, so when you divide, basically your powers subtract, right? And since we have a x over here, it's subtracted by x. Okay, if you cannot see this in one step, of course you are able to just write it out as this 2 to the power of 2y is multiplied by 2 to the power of negative x, right? Because as a fraction over here, this is the same as 2 to the power of negative x. After you have this, right, it will equals to, on the right hand side over here, right, we deal with the negative power first, right? Basically my numerator and my denominator swaps. So in the end I get 2 over 1, right? And my cube still remains there, so it's a cube outside. Okay, we simplify this equation over here. We just get it to be 2 to the power of 2y minus x, because multiply the powers will add. But since here is minus, so we keep the minus over here. And this equals to 2 to the power of 3, right? Just leave it as it is, because here we need to make sure that our bases are the same. And we're just going to be comparing the powers. So again, from powers, is that my 2y minus x will equals to, well, just 3, right? Because now our powers are all equal and my bases are equal as well. Okay, so this is my second equation and this is my first equation. All I'm going to do is just make x the subject, x equals to 1 minus y. I'm going to sub my third equation into my second equation. Just be careful of the brackets and the negative sign. 2y minus 1 minus y equals to 3. Here we get 3y is equals to 4, right? And y would be equals to 4 over 3. After this, just sub in into your equation 3, right? Sub this into here, right? We get x to just be equals to 1 minus 4 over 3, which we get it to be equals to negative 1 over 3. Okay, so this last part, you can press your calculator, right? Just to double check your answer. Right, what to press in your calculator? Well, this equation and this equation. As long as you can do the indices for the first part, you can just solve for the simultaneous equations afterwards. Okay, so that is how you do 10 part A. Moving to 10 part B, they tell you a circular cylinder of volume 3 root 7 minus 6 pi cm cube has a height of this, right, and a radius of r cm. Without the use of a calculator, obtain the expression for r squared in the form of this, right? So for volume of our cylinder, if you recall, it's just basically your pi r squared. This is your area of the circle, multiplied by your height, right? Because why? Area of circle multiplied by height. This gives us our volume, right? So for this, right, pi we just leave it as it is, r squared we just leave it as it is, right? And here, because we want to equate it to our volume up here, okay, I'm just going to make it separate, right? So pi r squared times 2 plus root 7 is equals to my volume, which is 2 root 7 minus 6 pi. Okay, so now these two are equal. The pi and the pi on the left and right side cancels out, right? I just get my r squared to be equals to, simplify this side, I'm just bringing the denominator over, right? So I divide it over, and over here I will need to rationalize by the conjugate. So I multiply it by 2 minus root 7 over 2 minus root 7, right? Very nice conjugate from here. At my numerator, need to be careful, the whole thing multiplies in. So 2 times this, 3 root 7 times 2, right? I basically get it to be 6 root 7. Next one, 3 root 7 times root 7, right? I basically get it to be, and it's a minus out here, right? Minus out here. So it's going to be minus 3 times 7. Continuing on, 6 times, negative 6 times 2, I get minus 12. Last one, 6 times root 7, right? And it's negative, negative, so I add positive. 6 root 7 over my denominator over here, which is just 4 minus 7. Okay, because why? 2 times 2 is just 4, right? This term and this term will cancel out, so those two we ignore. Last one, root 7 times negative root 7, I get negative root 7. Okay, so now that I have all of that done, I'm just going to simplify my numerator, right? And my numerator up here, it just becomes 12 root 7, right? And, sorry, 12 root 7, cos 6 and 6, right? And here I just get it to be minus 12 minus 21. I get it to be minus 33 over negative 3. Okay, simplify this one step further, right? I basically get this to be negative 4 root 7 minus 11. Plus 11, cos negative negative. And in the end, I will just get it to be 11 minus 4 root 7. Units is cm, so I'm just going to write it as cm square. Okay, so this is my r square. Okay, so this is how you do the surds and indices question. And yeah, that's all for this. Okay, make sure you know how to choose the conjugate surd. That part is important.